The internet's not down. Let's get to it. Some of the black pieces now. And with the black pieces, I always do the Sicilian. Thanks. You're welcome. What's your rating, bro? My rating is like 2200 in Rapid. I'm tired of these blatant cheats. I know exactly. I am too. Knight to f6. So, just to turn the music a little bit down so that... Actually, I think y'all can still hear me. Is the music at a good pace, at a good volume? I can turn it down just a little bit more for y'all. Actually, let me just turn it down a little bit. I can't even hear my own thoughts. I like jazz so much, but, you know, not that much. I'm trying to talk. All right, I'm playing viewers, guys. So this is a 900, but most of you can't beat a 900. So, you know, you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. So usually, if my opponent plays e4, I do the Sicilian, which is c5. After they do the move c3, which is called the Alapin opening, I usually do the move knight to f6 to attack this pawn, forcing them to make a very crucial decision in the position to either push it or protect it. And these are the type of openings that I like primarily because I could do the main line and do the move d5, but I actually like knight to f6 a lot better. And then plus two, I guess 900, 600 rated players, they usually forget to protect this pawn, which that's just a free pawn. That's not a trap. That pawn is free. And we take those. Hey, what's up, chess teacher? Man, you already know what it is. Music is good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Stone Face, what's good? What's good, JP? What's good? Oh, snap. I forgot to do the TTS for y'all, just in case y'all want to do that. And on TikTok, just to let you know, the people that could do TTS is only the people that are subscribed or are the top 3 gifters. So hopefully you're not confused about that. Let's not lose on time because that's one thing that we're going to have to make sure that we don't do. So let's do C takes on D5. And whatever they capture with, we might just do the move D5 here. Actually, we could do E6 too to castle the king as soon as possible. I kind of like E6 a lot more because I could just do bishop E7, knight to F6, etc. Okay, so they're going a little bit faster and we have to go a little bit faster. This is a 5-5, so I do have time, but an increment can be kind of deceiving because when you get low on time, I mean, you don't want to live off the increment. And like I said before, we are pawn up, so now our opponent's going to have to prove to us what are they doing a pawn down. And so this is a whole different type of position. And then plus two, you're the black pieces, you go second, and I'm already comfortable because I already know what I'm doing. That's why it's really important to know your openings. Started last month, you're 450. Hey man, 450 is pretty good starting last month. No way I'm gonna win. Okay, I see you. Instead of took the E4 pawn. Yeah, free pawns, we take those. Play slower. If you lose, then it's a skill issue. Yeah, I know, right? So one thing in the Sicilian that we usually do here, a common thing, is do these moves A6, B5, and they usually put the bishop to B7. Because if I do D5, put the bishop to D7, then that bishop has less scope. And it is not very active along, this diagonal. I want it to be on this long diagonal. And I don't want that knight ever going to the B5 square. So usually this pawn goes to A6 and then I push up B5, bishop B7. That's why most players do that. And they just made it a little bit better for us to do it because we get like this free tempo on the bishop here. The bishop has to move or it will be taken. And our opponent doesn't want to be down more pawns. And then we get this free bishop to B7 move here. He said that he is not going on 15-10. Yeah, I'm not doing 15-10. That's too long. It has to be at least like 10-5. 10-5 is good. Even 10-10 is too long. I just don't like an increment being 10 seconds. This isn't like a tournament battle here. This isn't a tournament battle. All right, we're just going to do knight to c6, and I'm going to play a little bit faster while trying to explain my moves here. You can send like 10-5 or in 5-5. Listen to Dark Frost Froze. Listen to him. He's saying the right things. Can you teach us the Scandinavian defense? I do not know how to play the Scandinavian defense. I know like the basics, but I don't know like the ultimate theory, so it wouldn't really benefit y'all if I did try to teach you the Scandinavian defense. They are putting a lot of pressure on this pawn, and we either have to take, because all the defensive moves don't really defend the pawn. I could take, but then their rook gets pretty active. And so my first thought was actually just pushing up the pawn here. And that's pretty much what I'm going to do. If pawn captures on b4, bishop captures on b4, knight captures on b4, one of these captures I'm going to be doing here. Knight captures on b4 looks a little bit more attractive. So I just did that move just based off of intuition. I didn't really like calculate which side would have been better here because I'm down on time. And when you're down on time, usually you have to play the game off of intuition. And so I seen this little like annoying move here, knight b to d5. And so this is attacking the bishop on e3. And it's really good to keep track of all your opponent's undefended pieces here. And now I get their bishop, and I have the 2 bishop advantage, which 2 bishops can give you more scope in the position. So not only am I up, what is this? I'm up 1 pawn, but I have the 2 bishop advantage. So when there's no tactics going on in the position, you look for small advantages. You accumulate those, and the more you accumulate, then the tactics will just start coming out of nowhere. And that's pretty much how chess works. Most people like can find tactics, like they do chess puzzles all the time on chess.com or something. But most people don't know how to get into those like tactical positions. And that's how you get into those tactical positions, is by accumulating on those small advantages. Most people in the chess world don't even teach like permanent advantages and temporary advantages anymore, in which, if you want to know that, I do offer coaching lessons. Now, I don't want to do d5 yet because that's going to close in my bishop. But I do want to take over the center. We're going to do rook c8. Just my instinct is telling me rook c8 is a pretty solid move. Just taking over a file. Stoneface, thank you, appreciate it. What's up, KC Ninja? How you doing? Have you played the Alien Gambit? Oh yeah, I do need to play the Alien Gambit. I don't know who would want to play the Carol Khan against me, but yeah, I don't mind playing the Alien Gambit for one go. I think I've seen this video on it. Your time and a half of the profile picture is invaluable. What are you talking about? I don't know what that means. So they are like trying to form some threats here, but I'm going to move a little bit faster and just hurry up and do the move bishop c5, pretty much defending and attacking at the same time, since that bishop on c5 is technically pinning that knight on d4 to the king on the g1 square. And so I'm probably going to have to do the move that I've been like regretting to do this whole time, a d5. But at least it's like kicking a knight somewhere else instead of like being all up in my grill. Because when you're down on time, you don't want none of your pieces all up in your grill. You want your opponent's pieces to be doing the least amount of threats as possible. And it kind of makes you feel more safe. It kind of makes you feel more comfortable trying to like finagle. I don't use that in real like conversation. I don't use that word in real conversation, but this does help you like finagle. That tip does help you finagle you out of the positions. Dang, say that 3 times fast. Can I play you next? Yeah, sure, maybe. You just got to challenge me after the games is done. So they decided to go to knight b6 anyway, but now this just gives us another pawn, and we take those. We take those, and our opponent, and I took it super fast because I kind of already analyzed that the opponent really doesn't have any threats here. And you can kind of see that by what they're attacking presently right now. So this knight is attacking the e6 square. This bishop is attacking a6. The rook was attacking a6. And we're defending all those points with the queen, and that pawn is defending that e6 pawn. There's no tactics anywhere for the opponent. And so, yeah, it just makes our job a lot more easier. Now, next step. Like I said, we're just going to improve our position. That's the main goal here. Improve our position, but not overdo it. We don't want to overdo it. So we're going to double up on this C file. That's going to be the next goal. And after we double up on the C file, our next goal is probably going to be to get the rook on the second rank. The only problem is that knight is on the second rank. G4 is pretty desperate and it kind of creates weaknesses, but if you're in a losing position, that is actually a really good move to do because you want to cause some threats. You don't want to just have your opponent like strangle. You don't just want to have your opponent just like take over the position and be able to like bully you around and stuff like that. You don't want to be bullied around. You want to do the bullying over the chessboard. This is Jason from Dot Spot. Nice to see a live VCO of yours. Hey, Dot Spot Chess Club in Kansas City, man. That's a really cool chess club. Y'all should go there. If you do live in Kansas City, drive there. I think it's every Thursday around like 4 to 7. Really cool chess club. Very nice people. I do have to think about these sacrifices that could potentially happen. Oh yeah, I cannot take this knight because that's just that's not an important move to be doing right now, taking that knight. But we are going to put this knight to e5, and I'm going to have to play a little bit faster. Rare footage of H1 promoting bullying. I know, right? Dang it. I didn't know I was ever going to be doing that. But technically in chess, you kind of are bullying your opponent if you are like ahead of material. Technically. We're going to do knight to c6 because all I want to do is just trade pieces, get this knight out of this d4 square so that I can finally push this d pawn and then I can finally get this bishop open. That's the main goal here. So they are forming some strategies here, which I do like them. We're going to just take that g6 pawn. We're going to allow this to happen. Well, I think they messed up there. I think they kind of messed up there. And I kind of like skimmed through all the moves that they could have done in like a hurry. I was looking at moves like rook g1 that they could have done. But all of them, I mean, we're in time to do our moves. So knight to f5 is coming really fast, and now d4. And after I get these moves off, and then rook c2, it's over. Thank you for the subscription, KC Ninja. I appreciate it. And I appreciate the support too. Thank you for letting me record at the chess club. Those in real life streams are pretty awesome. So, and I do in real life streams on Twitch only. I do in real life streams on Twitch only. So go follow my Twitch channel. I haven't like figured out a way to, bringing all the equipment to like a chess club is that's a lot of work, guys. So it's only going to be on Twitch until further notice. They are attacking this pawn, and we are going to have to keep that in mind. But we have so many threats happening right now where that attack on the pawn really doesn't even matter. And I'm thinking that this next move is checkmate. Music is good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, everybody's good. So let's analyze this right quick, just to make sure everybody got all the lessons from it. Let's analyze this game. I'm going to be accepting another challenge shortly. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. And I would rather you not stream snipe, but I can't confirm that. So it is what it is, I guess. But don't be mad when I reverse stream snipe you. Don't be mad when I'm saying, oh, that's a good move when it's really not. That's my best game against you yet. Yeah, no, that was a very slow, patient game. So I appreciate it. The only problem is, though, is that in the opening, you gave me a free pawn. And we take those, right? Sometimes you're going to have to like double check to see if there's like a trap around. But one good indicator that is actually a good pawn to take is if your opponent doesn't have any pieces developed. So all these pieces are still on the first rank. And since since all the pieces still in the first rank, there's really no good moves instead of like queen to f3, queen to b3, queen to a4. There's no checks on my king that could happen even in this position. And even so, after knight takes on e4, even if they took this pawn, I could take that pawn too. Knight takes on c5. And yeah, this is just a difficult position to try to defend for the whole entire game. Thank you for the follow on Fordums. I appreciate it. You won't be reverse stream sniping me. You never know. So don't just be listening to me. After there, I hurry up and did e6, castle the king as soon as possible. Any other move would have been fine too, but I felt like this is the safest route. And since I'm teaching a lesson, I mean, yeah, castling the king as fast as possible if you're up in material is the best route. And if you see the evaluation bar here on the left-hand side, it went up further the closer I got to castling. And so the computer, like, they want you to castle as soon as possible and get yourself to safety when you're up in material. And so the rest of the game, we just did small improving moves, and the opponent made mistakes for us. We developed all our pieces. We decided not to take that A pawn because that would have gave our opponent some counterplay. And we pushed up b4. After b4, taking that pawn, we took their bishop. We got the 2 bishop advantage. And then we used our bishops at the end to finally deliver checkmate, blundered another pawn, etc. So all the people that is under 1,000 elo, this is how you have to play chess in order to beat somebody that is 600 elo. This is what you're going to have to pass. And I know it can be tough because the moves are so random, but you're going to have to like level up your play. Okay. Next match. Actually, let's just go to the end of that so that y'all can see. And none of these attacks doesn't matter if your attack is faster. That's another principle too. Yep. And then this checkmate.